Hello everyone and welcome back to Discworld 2, Missing Presumed. We are on the last act and someone has tried to assassinate Death in Bonestock. Well, during Bonestock, he's here, there's not much left of him. And everybody knows that Death can actually die in the Discworld. It can happen, and as Lovecraft wrote himself in I think it was in the novelette called Call of Cthulhu, and with strange aeons even Death may die. So there we go. But I'm not going to talk to Death. I just need the cork. That's what I need. And here's his timer.
Odd. Why does Death have an hourglass? A little redundant, I would have thought.
Well, maybe it seems redundant to you, but he does have one. Every creature has one, even the gods, and Death. Now, we need to go to Jelly Baby, because we need to save Death. Those freaking birds, you know? Now, we just need to wait around here for a little while. Sound those freaking vultures. And I actually know now how to make them stop following me. You guys will see. You'll see. Quite soon enough. Now, what the hell? Oh, it's Casananda.
I'm in the mood for frogs. Yeah. Frogs are the things I've been thinking of. But they're so small and green, and they reign supreme in this crazy Casananda's house of love. Oh!
Ooh, much better.
Yes.
Ooh, I like this one. Quite right. Plenty enough to go around. How'd you cook it? Sage and onions. Sage and onions? In the middle of the desert?
Oh, turmeric, rose water and onions then. Come on.
Yes.
Casananda,
Whoops. Well, there goes Casananda. I'd watch what happens next, but I'll probably be here for days.
yeah, you probably don't want to know what's going to happen to Casananda if they're going to cooking with sage and onions. Ah! That's what I was waiting for. It's a prospector. That's the fellow we were waiting for. Thank goodness. Now, mister, you are the one I've been waiting for. Where are ya? No? Oh, he's run off somewhere. I don't know where. Don't really care. Camel. Saddlebags. Have a look inside the saddlebags.
Hey, look, a canteen.
Hey! Doesn't hurt to have a canteen now, does it? Oh, there's the luggage. I was waiting for him. I think the luggage might be a him, but it doesn't really matter. So, let's put this in the saddlebag instead. And we'll get rid of the vultures finally. Ah, here's a prospector. Have fun! Off he goes. Nice! And the vultures follow him instead. Finally, I'm rid of those fuckers. Oh, I shouldn't be swearing. I'm rid of those buggers, I should say. Oh, look at that. Well, he's going all over the place. Are you trying to get rid of people so they don't follow you around and find your secret hideouts where all the gold is? Yes, that's the reason. No. Where is it? Ah! Yes, we found the Fountain of Youth. That's what we need for Death. I believe. Now... Oh, look at that.
There's lots of sand in the bottom. The water is spurting up through a little hole in the base.
Now we don't need the water, we need the sand. But to do that, we should stop at the fountain. So, let's put a cork in it. Ha! That's it! And we just then refill Death's hourglass, and he should be alive again. That's it! That was a bit little, Rincewind. Yeah, that's it. That's more like it. Ha! Uh-oh. What's going on? Wow. Gratuitous 3D scene. Looks a bit like the Terminator, doesn't it? They have much better graphics in this game. But it's also a few years after the original one. I'm sorry, Death has blue eyes, not red. But still, a good animation. Nicely done, guys. He's back! Ah! That's it! Blue, and he's back. What the? That freaking assassin! I just want to know how that hourglass bomb thing works. Well, thank you, Death. Nice one! He's good at golf. 4!
I forgot to shout 4.
Oh. Yeah, he did.
Epilogue. Queen Kong.
We're nearing the end, guys. Queen Kong. Uh-oh. Does that have to do with anything with the librarian? Hello! I'm Death! This guy behind me is sleeping. Welcome to Jackass! Or something, I don't know. His latest smash hit, I guess. Do we have to watch the entire credits? Boo? Didn't like it? Oh, hell. Rincewind. For the love of Io. Quickly now. Wow. He's quick, isn't he? Also, it's kind of odd, he's going backwards with it. So the entire game was a clicky? Was it? Thank you, Death. Give him a big hand. Yeah, there's the lady.
Ooh, I say. Ooh, that is good.
Woo! Subliminal messages. Oh shit. A giant elven queen took the librarian. Aw, the poor thing. Well, this is a reference to moving pictures. Read that book. I really have to say that. Read it. No question about it. And there she goes. In the book, this happens, but a little bit differently. Spoilers! I should have gotten that when watching this movie. Well, this clip, I should say. Oh dear.
I'm not sure whether they spent enough on the script for this movie. It seems to be all just special effects.
Hmm? Is it intermission yet? I was hoping for something nice and sticky on a stick.
The only thing sticky around here is this finale.
Get on with it!
Well, here we are. We're in the finale, the epilogue. Queen Kong.
Pretty Polly.
Oh, it's a
I'll best
raven.
leave it alone. Granny might get jealous.
Well, this
Now,
Granny.
isn't the sort who suffers fools gladly. As a
Yeah. Hello, Granny. What can you tell us about the birdie?
you can swap minds with this raven, can you?
Yes, I'm very good at it.
Oh, go on. You can't possibly manage to put all your knowledge and experience into that tiny little avian brain.
Of course I can. Just watch.
Oh. I didn't think she would be that easy to fool. Oh.
What a clever woman. Clever, yet oddly dumb.
I would call it stubborn. Isn't that basically the same thing? Thank you! Ah, Dibbler, you're back to normal. Hello, Dibbler.
Bladders! Get your bladders here! Only a groat apiece, and even then I'm cutting my own throat.
Bladders? Are you taking the pic?
Bladders, my friend, a rustic forerunner of the more familiar rubber balloon, as enjoyed by children. This is absolutely true. Who says computers aren't educational? I've got sheep bladders, vole bladders, moose bladders. You want a bladder? I'm your man.
You know, I believe you.
You can do other things besides blow 'em up, you know. Oh, dozens of uses a good bladder. Although right now, I admit I can only think of one or two. One, really.
Foot to the ball? Does it come on a stick?
All right. I'd like to buy some bladders, please.
Certainly, Squire. Now then, what sort? We've got your rat, your vole, that's the field vole, meadow vole, and the killer Clatchian vole.
The killer vole?
Oh yeah, you know the ones, 6 feet long, covered in poisonous spines, with incisors like chisel blades.
But I thought voles were sweet little things, you know, small and brown and covered with fur.
Not these ones, sir. Take your arm off in an instant. They've levelled whole continents. Obliterated
Damn.
ships filled with puppies, baby kittens and innocent nuns.
Wait a minute. These look like sheep bladders. It comes to something when a poor sheep is finding its essential organs floating around as kiddies' balloons.
Sheep, sir? Never, sir. Catch me arming sweet little creatures with curly wool and big brown eyes? Nah, not on my life. Cut me own throat if I tell a lie. These have been taken from Clatchian voles. A life form so foul, sir, so venomous, so putrid and psychotic that the hunters, sir, were all awarded medals for services to humanity. Clatchian voles is like rabid sharks on legs, sir.
Oh, well, that's all right then. In that case, give me some of them.
Right you are, Squire.
I just hope they had time to go to the lavatory first, though.
We'll put the ladders in our pocket. The ladders. The bladders.
Bladders, get
Our
your
crowd.
bladders here.
Look at that lot. Like a school of guppies at feeding time.
It's just the entire group of people that we've met during the game.
Oh, God! Sorry, got carried away again. I do hope the little fella's okay up there. I'll rescue him soon.
Ogle, snap it for a ragman's trumpet. Millennium Hand and Shrimp.
Yes, it is very romantic, isn't it?
Oh, bugger it. Front the biscuit for a sneaky trouser. I told them.
You're just an old softy under that crust, aren't you? Of course, she is rather tall, but they do say size isn't important.
Actually,
Who said that?
they do make a beautiful pair, you know.
Bugger it.
I mean the librarian and the giant. Do you think we should rescue him, Dean? Well, I was just wondering if we might have to rescue her. Perhaps we'd better just let nature take its course?
Got a horse, did you say? How's he going to get it up that tower with that big woman in the way?
Oh my. Geniuses are philosophizing again. Well, we're off to save the librarian and finish the game. Let's go.
Get your bladders here.
Come on,
Well,
Rincewind.
we're on the right track.
We are? Use it on yourself then.
Well, we're on the right track.
So,
Well, we're on the right track.
one moment. I forgot one thing. Canteen with the bladder. There we go. Water balloons with water.
Bladders,
Now,
get your
now we
bladders
can go
here.
and save the librarian. Off we go. Well, the broomstick is a bit slow because it's Granny Weatherwaxes. Needs a bit of a running start. And off we go! Whee! Woohoo! Get her, Rincewind. Yeah, that's it. And another one. A third one. His beauty that killed
What is
the
it
beast.
now? The dead are supposed to rest in peace, you know. Run! It's a falling giant woman. And that's another
Oh,
thing.
poor Windle.
In my day, girls were sweet, demure little things, not 60-foot tall monsters like you apparently get now. And I'm also pretty sure that in my day, they all actually wore something under the...
Ow. But I guess he's finally dead.
Later. So,
And flat.
it's you at last, is it? So where do you think you've been?
Sorry, it's been a bit of a confusing week.
Confusing? I've been undead since 10:30 on Tuesday morning. I mean, I wouldn't complain, but I lost 17 pence just on blowfish since I died. You'd think the afterlife would be cheaper, wouldn't you?
Well, I've said sorry, haven't I? Come on, let's have a curry before we go. My treat.
Ah, well, all right. That is rather decent of you.
Well, that's good. Poor old Windle.
By the way, I tried strangulation, drowning, poison, traffic accidents. I even listened to improvised jazz music. But that just made me wish I was dead. Or that the musicians were dead at any rate. How did I finally manage to go?
You got sat on by a giant elven queen.
Now there's one I never thought of trying. Still, if you gotta go...
Yes, that is it. And we're back to this fine finishing song. I mean, ugh. Nigel Planer was in this, as we could hear. In the previous one, it was I thought Nigel Planer was there last time in the previous game, but he wasn't. It was actually just Sean Pertwee and Tony Robinson. Is that his name? The guy who played Baldric. But I feel that the sound, well, the voice acting is much better in this version. Well, in this sequel, I should say. So yes, both the sequel, the graphics have gotten much better. It has been improved. The game doesn't have that crazy difficulty level. It's still difficult, but it's not as insanely difficult as, for example, the different puzzles in the previous game. For example, getting the belt buckle from the fishmonger is considered to be one of the top 10 hardest puzzles from the 90s, for example. And that was actually pre-internet era. Most of us didn't have internet back then, so the only way to do it was either to ask a friend or sit down together and try to figure it out. And I'm not sure how it was with Discworld, but some games did actually have like a hint line you could call. For example, I know that Sierra had a hint line, and I think LucasArts too. Not sure if the smaller companies did have that. So those were your options, or to buy a game guide, a hint book. I'm not sure there was a hint book for Discworld, but yeah, that was the only way. Or if you were lucky enough that one of the computer magazines actually wrote a walkthrough for you. It happened. Not very often, but it did happen. You also had like columns you could write to and get answers, but that's how it was in the bad old days. In the good old days, I mean. When I was young, you know. I wasn't that old at all, but I do remember the games back then in the 90s. And it still makes me sound like an ancient person. I wasn't that old in the 90s. I grew up during the 90s, actually. I was born in the 80s, but I spent most of my growing up in the 90s. So I had the opportunity to see most of the 90s games. And some of them was hellishly difficult. Also, it's a bit of nostalgia nowadays, of course. But I do hope you enjoyed this playthrough, because it was wonderful to get back to these games again. Definitely, it was just wonderful. And as I said before, the Discworld series, especially the books, have been very important to me through my life. They have. And I'm very sorry that Pratchett passed away recently, that Sir Terry passed away. But he did actually manage to survive quite long, as far as I understand, with Alzheimer's. But, well, it's sad. We have been robbed of a genius, to put it like that. And as I said before in the previous ending, of the previous game, I mean, of the first Discworld game, that these games also have a bit of a sentimental value for me, due to having, just look at the ending of the first game series and you'll understand what I mean. So, that's it. And I don't know, I might do the third game, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see about that in the future. I need to dig it out and see if it works at all. And if it's too tricky, like for example Broken Sword that I'm working on now is hellish to actually render. It's tricky to both record and to render, so I'm getting really tired of it, and that game is going to kill me probably. Well, I'm going to give it a try and see if I can do the third game. But for now, I just have to say thanks so much for watching me, guys. I really, really do hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Discworld 2, Missing Presumed, ellipses, exclamation mark, question mark. And I'm going to sign off now. It was nice to have you guys along this journey, and I'll see you guys later.